Here we go, it's unboxing time again, though this actually might go into a full-blown review, depending on how things go. This arrived today. I think it's the thing I was expecting previously, which turned out instead to be the GPD Pocket. So I have an inkling what this is. Let's open it up, take a look. I've got the bag upside down so you can't see my address on it. It is a cardboard box, all the way from China, because we like Chinese cardboard boxes on this channel. Ugh. And Chinese bubble wrap. We like some bubble wrap. Hello. What do we have? It is a JXD S192K. So that is it's an Android tablet, 7-inch I believe, got 4 GB of RAM, bringing you the speed you crave. Sorry about the reflections on the box. It's covered in shrink wrap, black, made in China. Pictures and stuff on the back. Display, 7-inch IPS 1080p FHD display, resolution 1920 by 1200 pixels. Is that 1080p? I don't know what's what. Anyway, battery 10,000 milliamp hour. That sounds pretty decent. Sound effects, yeah, it'll have sound. Processor ARM Cortex A17 quad core. This is not working, trying to show you this because of all the reflections. Camera 5 megapixel. Game video performance, blah. Right, okay. I'm just going to unpack it, eh? I don't want to scratch the box. Yeah, I'll perhaps fast forward through this bit. You know, I should have done that before reading you all the stuff on the box, but I'm stupid. Here we go. Can you see? What do we got? It's like this box of chocolates. Ooh. Well now, we have a charger. This seems to be the norm now, this kind of charger, which is fine by me. I've got a stack of this kind of charger hanging around. And come out. Do we have anything under there? Nope, good, fine. Come out. Alright. We also have a USB cable. That's handy. We have, let's put it back in there, it's hard to get out. We have a quick start manual. We'll have a quick look at the quick start manual and see how much it's in English. Fourth generation buttons, mapping and button master. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, and we got Chinese halfway through. That's cool. It's nice to have a manual. Sometimes I even read them. Got a screen protector on there. I will probably take that off because I can see bubbles under it. So it is. Well, some of you will be aware a couple of years ago, was it, I did a review of the JXD S192K. This, I believe, is like the successor to that. And I can tell you straight off the bat, without having used it, this to hold is streets ahead. Now I don't know what the performance is going to be like. What have we got under there? I can see what looks like a micro SD card, probably an earphone socket. Is that going to be a USB or is it going to be an HDMI? Not sure. We will find out at some point because I will read the manual. Oh God, excuse me while I knock the camera. It's interesting actually, it's quite light. The ergonomics of it are lovely. That is really comfortable in the hand. The plastics, it's curious actually, it's kind of shinier and smooth, or feels shinier and smoother on the underside. Probably it's that's shiny. Has it got a screen protector? I think it's got a sort of plastic thing on it which probably you peel off, because I think there's a camera just there. I'll find out. Oh, we've got more buttons. What have we got here? Power, plus and minus. I guess they're volume. Triggers. Well, now there's a thing, isn't it? The triggers above. That's just nice. On this S7800B, they were like next to each other, and it was all kind of square and not really very comfortable. And proper joysticks. Yeah. Hello. That's amusing. There's like a Windows logo on that. I'm guessing it's the home button. Start. No, start select on there. Yeah, okay. Well, that is the first look at this. It is literally just an unboxing, a first look. I'm probably going to do all of this as a review if everything goes to plan, so we will move on shortly, which will actually be several days later because I'll have charged it and installed games and played the thing, and then we'll tell you all about it. Okay, I've had a brief tinker with this and I thought I'd show you some stuff before I go to town on installing things. First, a clarification. That there is a USB, micro USB, whilst the HDMI is just there, which is cool because it makes sense to have an HDMI there if you want to play stuff on your telly with this. Now let's wake it up. It is turned on, it's just in sleep mode. Wakey wakey, swipe up. I don't know where it starts off there. This is what you get by default. Now I am not a fan of the default setups that come installed on any of these Android devices, be they JXD or GPD. I don't like the interfaces. I don't like pretty much anything about the way they arrive. That is just me. That's not to say there's anything at all wrong with it. I just like to customize them actually de-customize them and have a very, very standard Android launcher and stuff like that. But there is a reason why they do this. Most of these are self-explanatory, and the thing I normally never actually show, I mention briefly only as insofar as I say I've uninstalled it, is this thing, Happy Chick. It is, let me show you what it is. This is a thing that is useful for people who don't really know their way around Android or emulators, because it's kind of a file sharing system, cross emulator, all-in-one built-in thing. I'm not a fan of that because you don't necessarily know what you're downloading or where it's coming from, but I'll show you how it works. Game Boy Advance, you click that and it'll give you a big long list of games. Let's pick one that, oh, I don't know. It's like, yeah, Crash Nitro, why not? You click download. Now, it gives you two options of where to get it from, and this I'm expecting, is it gonna? Download link has expired. Yeah, go to the other one then, official download. It says downloading. Probably speed this up. And it's done. Download complete. Now you could click start there, or you can go back to like your, it's not quite your home screen looks like, well, that. And there are various different things and whatnot where you can, I mean, downloadable Grand Theft Auto Vice City and other Android games that you would normally pay for. Anyway, stuff that you've downloaded already is in this play section here, and you can like have all of them listed, or you can have them listed by device. Game Boy Advance, and you just click play, single player, and it works, and that's cool. I'm just not even going to I'm not going to play it. That was just to show that it works, basically. Having said that, it does not always work. I downloaded one for MAME, Puzzle Bobble, and I click play and nothing happens. It does that, which suggests to me that the MAME section of this Happy Chick thing is not working. I don't know why. But there it is. That is what Happy Chick does, basically. It is a thing to make the playing of downloadable games very, very easy. I'm not going to go into the legalities and things like that about a program like this. There may well be some very reasonable questions to ask about a thing like that, but I'm not the person to answer them in a video like this. But I just wanted to show you what it is and what it does. I will now basically be deleting that and completely altering all of this and putting on a standard Android layout and launcher and stuff, and installing my own choices of emulators and getting ROM files and the like from places that I know and trust, or in fact ripping my own. So yeah, I just wanted to show you what it's like when it comes out of the box. It is functional, you can do things with it. And for many people that will be good enough for them and what they want and need, because it's easy. You know, you turn it on, you can download games and they work. And that is cool for many people and their needs. So when I come back, this thing will have changed dramatically into something more to my liking. Okay, so I've installed Nova Launcher, which is much more to my liking and more like a standard Android interface. I then proceeded to install a load of emulators and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And in using those, I started to realize there was a problem. The emulators and games were not responding to certain keys as I would have expected. And it just so happens that there is this app built in, Test Key, which allows you to test that all of the keys and things are working correctly. Yes, and the home key makes it disappear. But as they turn blue, you know that they're working. Yeah, okay. Now, R1 is not working at all. Interestingly, they are working correctly at this moment. Last night, when pressing A, X also responded at the same time. They're not doing that now, that's interesting. But last night, you press one, you got both. So intermittent problem there, but R1 not working at all. That is a problem in terms of testing, but I'll show you what the things, you know, I'll be able to get the emulators to run. Playing the things will be not so good probably, but we'll see how that goes. Before I run some games and emulators to show you how well they run, I was asked to run the Antutu benchmarking app on here. So I did that, and then I ran it on my JXD as well, just to compare them. So this thing returned an overall figure of 53767, where the GPD returned 36655. So this has a good bit more oomph than the GPDXD. 3D benchmark 9353 on here compared to 6170 on the GPD. UX of 20735 compared to 10132. CPU 17780 compared to 15881. And RAM 5899 compared to 4472. So, you know, whatever those numbers mean, couldn't tell you. But the numbers are significantly higher on here compared to the GPD XD, which suggests this thing's got quite a bit of oomph. That impresses me. Okay, so Dodonpachi. Doing a continue here, I cut out a bit. I had to adjust the brightness on the camera, but as you can see, it runs quite nicely. I'm not sure about the speed here, that might be slowing down some. That seems, it slows down when I'm firing, but I don't know if that's normal. Maybe not. It's a brilliant game though, it's mental. Yeah, that does seem to be suffering from some slowdown when firing. Okay, let's have a look at something else. Here we go then, 32X Virtua Racing Deluxe. No, that's not, that's Virtua Fighter. Okay, well we'll play that then. Why not? Alright. Am I using the wrong buttons? Possibly. Is it responding to all the buttons? Who knows? Yay, kick him in the mush. So yeah, 32X on RetroArch is working quite nicely. Okay then. Radiant Silvergun on the Sega Saturn. This is one where definitely the is configured to use that shoulder button, and obviously it's not working. I can do that though, so that's all right. Whoops. Yeah, it's running at a decent enough speed. I'm quite happy with that. Oops, unlike my playing, I am trying to reach around the camera to play this, so, you know. Okay then, here we go. Sega Rally on Oyu Yabose. Go, please. What button do we use to go? Well, yeah, not the button I would have expected, to be honest. That's not really very good, to be honest. It's choppy, and you've got that weird thing where you can see through the scenery. It's weird. Certain points it runs quite smooth, and then it's just unplayable, really. That's a pity, but there you go. Okay, 3DO emulator. if I can remember how do I get it into first gear? That's how I get it into first gear. Here we go. I don't normally like playing racing games in external views, but this one I do. But it does, it runs well enough. I'm fond of this emulator. It runs quite well on most of the hardware I run it on, and it is still being developed and improved. When I first tried it, it didn't run a decent, well, it didn't run very well at all, but now it's impressive. And it runs well on here, so that's good. And on the nice big screen, it looks very nice. A lot of use of the word nice there. Repetition much. Okay, moving on. Okay, Dreamcast emulator with the sound turned down because copyright music. Very hard to do this. Oh god. Brakes aren't working. Wrong button, that's why. Go, move on. This works, I would describe it as adequately. The frame rate is actually a bit jerky. I have seen it run much better on other systems, but it's still playable. It's not horrendous. It's just a bit mediocre, if I'm honest. Not exceptional, but you could play games on it. What emulator was that? Rycast. Yeah. Okay then, so the Psp Emulator Ppsspp, playing Gran Turismo. A little bit of tweaking was needed, as always, but this is, I'm not sure what I've got the frame skip at. I did have to use the frame skip, but it's playable. It's not bad at all, and this is, it's rendering it double resolution, double the internal resolution, and displaying it I don't know what. So it's actually a better visual quality in terms of resolution than you would get on an actual PSP. For reasons that I don't understand, it's not letting me turn it down to native PSP resolution, which normally this emulator lets you do. I should investigate that. It would run faster if it was running at normal PSP resolution, but you know, it's swings and roundabouts. It's a little bit slower frame rate, but higher visual quality. But it impresses me that it runs this well. It's a pretty intensive emulator in terms of resources and stuff. It takes a bit of oomph to run it. Not bad. Okay then, this is a new, as far as I can tell, Atari Jaguar emulator called Errata Jaguar, and there's really only one game I want to play on here, and that's Tempest 2000. Let's give it a bit more volume because it sounds lovely. Now, I've used Virtual Jaguar on this handheld, and it didn't run at full speed, which was a pity. I was disappointed. I thought it can surely do that, and it couldn't. But this seems to be based on Virtual Jaguar, but it runs, it's like, has he optimized it, or I say he, maybe she, I don't know. Whatever, it runs a lot better. The control mapping was a bit, I wasn't thrilled with the way that worked, but here we are, it's going, and very nicely indeed, because Tempest 2000 does take a bit of, well, I mean, the Jaguar in general seems to be an awkward one to emulate, and with all the visual stuff going on with this particular game, some emulators on some hardware do seem to struggle, but here we are, it's doing a great job of it. Pleases me a lot. So, native Android games, how do they run? Well, this is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, as you can see. I have turned all of the settings up to their absolute maximum, which I've not been able to do on anything else I've tried running it on. There's some weirdness going on there with people popping in and out, but the textures are at maximum, the rendering resolution is at maximum, the draw distance is at maximum. We haven't really got a good view to see the how good that draw distance is. Do you like my wheels? We've got reflection set on maximum. Let's have a look at what, and people are mental around here. Good God, it is like being in workshop. Nice reflections on that police car. Yeah, pretty nice. So, and the frame rate is just, you know, it's not dropping a frame as far as I can tell. That is the smoothest I have seen it running on anything that I have run recently. Yeah, thanks for that, it's been said. Very, very smooth with all the maximum settings, which says there is some pretty serious power in this here handheld tablet thing. It does impress me. Oh, I love this game. People are mental. So, the JXD S192K. First of all, if I haven't said it already, and I can't remember if I did, full disclosure, I did not buy this with my own money. I was sent it by GearBest to review. So, big thank you to them. What can I tell you? What do I think? First of all, this is the K model is an upgrade of the S192, which looks the same, but this has more memory, 4 gigabytes instead of 2. It's got more storage, 64 gigabytes instead of, I think it was 32, and a different chipset. The old one had a K1 chipset, Tegra, I think, NVIDIA. This thing has something different. I've forgotten what it was called. It's powerful, is what I can tell you. I mean, the thing is, some of the emulators didn't run as well as they have run on other hardware that I have run them on. But that is because certain software will be optimized for certain hardware, and then when you get something with different hardware, it doesn't necessarily run as well. So some things run better, some things don't. As you will have seen, San Andreas ran brilliantly. The best I've seen that game run on any piece of Android hardware, and it impressed the hell out of me. So on a performance level and a design level, because this is a huge step up from the JXD S7800B, in terms of it's comfortable to hold, the sticks are nice, the shoulder buttons are comfortable and easy to reach. It feels, all in all, just more well thought out. From that perspective, I really like this. If it was working correctly, I would say, this is brilliant. But it's not. The fact that an item that has been shipped out for review, with the intention of being reviewed, got here and one shoulder button didn't work and 2 face buttons are intermittent, what the heck? I mean, there's a built-in key tester on it. The fact that it is there makes me question, do they know they've got a problem? And if they do, enough to put that key tester on it, why the hell didn't they test it before shipping it out for review? So with all of that in mind, you know, reliability, quality control, build quality, I'm would you trust one? Because you can't just walk back to the shop and get a replacement when it's being shipped from China. I have grave concerns based purely on the fact that it reached me not fully functional. I think that is unacceptable, really. It might be a one-off, that's the thing. I don't really know what JXD's reputation is in terms of reliability. I've only got one other JXD product and it works absolutely fine. But the fact that this doesn't concerns me. So yeah, really, concept, brilliant. Design, brilliant. Performance, brilliant. Quality control, Anyway, I do want to say a big thank you to Tony from GearBest for sending me this to review, because it has been interesting and I do think it's got a lot of potential. They just need to be a bit... JXD need to pay a bit more attention, really, to what they're putting in the box. Okay, that's about all I've got to say, really, so thank you for watching.
Ah, yes. So, I ring the button that releases the hound to that subscribe button. Oh, hello, yes. Do subscribe.